Think you know what a perfect partner looks like? Spoiler. You don't. Society sells you fairy tales about soulmates who text you good morning, buy you roses, and never let you feel alone. But what if the real relationship hack is someone who's nothing like that? Someone who's quiet, intense, and terrifyingly hard to impress. Enter the Sigma INFJ. They're not here to play by the rules. They're here to rewrite them. And by the end of this video, you'll either want to date one or run for the hills. Reason 1. They see through your soul, but won't admit it. Sigma INFJs are human lie detectors. They don't just listen to you, they dissect you. That offhand joke you made, they clocked the insecurity behind it. That fine, you muttered. They know you're crumbling inside. But here's the twist. They'll never call you out. Why? Because they're not manipulators, they're observers. Their silence isn't ignorance, it's a test. Do you have the courage to be real with them and yourself? Think about it. How many people in your life truly see you? Not the curated Instagram version of you, but the raw, unfiltered mess. Sigma INFJs don't just tolerate that mess, they study it. They'll notice the way your voice cracks when you talk about your ex, or how you compulsively check your phone when you're anxious. And instead of exploiting it, they'll wait. They'll give you space to either step into your truth or keep hiding. That's their power. They don't need to control you. They let your own authenticity be the judge. Reason 2. They'd rather be alone, but choose you. Sigma INFJs aren't lonely. They're selectively alone. While everyone else is swiping on dating apps to fill a void, they're hiking mountains or reading Nietzsche. So if a Sigma INFJ carves out time for you, that's not luck. That's a calculated choice. They'd rather be in solitude than tolerate mediocrity. Let me break this down. Most people date out of fear. Fear of being alone, fear of missing out, fear of dying with 17 cats. Sigma INFJs, they'd adopt the 17 cats and name them after Greek philosophers. They don't fear solitude, they master it. So when they let you into their world, it's because you've sparked something rare. Maybe you challenged their mind, maybe you mirrored their depth. Whatever it is, you've passed a test 99% of people fail. And once you're in, their loyalty is a vault. They won't cheat, they won't ghost, but cross them, and that vault slams shut forever. Reason 3. They'll burn your comfort zone to the ground. Comfort zones are kryptonite to Sigma INFJs. They'll ask you the questions you've been avoiding. Why are you stuck in that dead-end job? Why do you let your family control you? Their tough love isn't cruelty, it's a survival tactic. They're preparing you for a world that won't coddle you. Here's the brutal truth. Sigma INFJs aren't your emotional babysitter. They're your wake-up call. They'll watch you self-sabotage and say, I'll be here when you're ready to stop. No pleading, no rescuing, just quiet faith. And if you finally snap and say, fine, I'll apply for the damn job, they'll celebrate you like you won the Olympics. But if you keep wallowing, they'll vanish. Not out of malice, out of respect. They refuse to enable weakness, because their version of love isn't soft, it's steel. Reason 4. They break rules, including relationship norms. Forget anniversaries and Instagram posts. Sigma INFJs measure love in mental explosions. They'll drag you to a midnight graveyard to discuss existentialism. They'll send you a 2 a.m. essay about Jungian archetypes. Romance to them isn't about grand gestures, it's about depth. Let's get real. Most relationships are transactional. I'll give you attention if you give me validation. Sigma INFJs, they're anarchists. They'll replace date night with a 3-hour debate about free will versus destiny. They'll call you out for saying, I love you too casually. To them, love isn't a feeling, it's a choice to confront the darkest parts of each other and say, I'm still here. And if you're still obsessed with societal norms, they'll ghost you faster than you can say toxic positivity, because faking happiness is a sin in their eyes. Reason 5. Their silence is louder than your drama. Most people crave attention. Sigma INFJs crave meaning, throw a tantrum, and they won't beg you to stay. They'll stare at you like you're a misbehaving lab rat. Their silence is a mirror forcing you to confront your own chaos. Imagine this. You're upset they didn't text back. You spiral, send 15 messages, and demand an explanation. Their response? Radio silence. Not because they're cruel, because they're waiting. Waiting for you to realize your meltdown isn't about them, it's about your own insecurity. Sigma INFJs don't play the prove your love game. They're the chess master watching you flip the board, and once you finally sit down and say, okay, I'm ready to talk, when they engage. Cold? Maybe. But in a world of attention seekers, their stillness is a superpower. Reason 6. They have a dark side. That's addictive. Sigma INFJs aren't sunshine and rainbows. They're thunderstorms and black coffee. They'll drag you into conversations about death, morality, and the void, and you'll love it. Their dark side isn't edgy posturing, it's raw authenticity. Here's the thing, most people wear masks. Sigma INFJs wear armor. They've seen the worst of humanity, maybe in their past, maybe in their own mind, and they refuse to sugarcoat it. So when they ask, do you ever fantasize about running away and starting over? It's not a red flag, it's an invitation, a dare to drop the act and admit life is messy. And once you've tasted that honesty, small talk feels like prison. You'll crave their intensity like a drug. But be warned, this isn't a fling, it's a spiritual awakening. Reason 7. They'll cut you off cold turkey and you'll deserve it. Cross a Sigma INFJ and there's no closure, no screaming match, just silence. They don't believe in second chances for liars, manipulators, or energy vampires. Their boundaries are electrified fences. Let's be clear, this isn't petty ghosting. This is strategic annihilation. Sigma INFJs give you one warning, a single raised eyebrow, a cryptic comment like, I see what you're doing. Ignore it, and they'll erase you from their life like a typo. No drama, no revenge, just gone. And years later, you'll still wonder what happened. Meanwhile, they've moved on, because holding grudges is a waste of energy. Harsh? Absolutely. But in a world where people tolerate disrespect for crumbs of affection, their ruthlessness is revolutionary. Reason 8. They're not impressed by your resume. Your job title? Money? Six-pack abs? Sigma INFJs don't care. They want the real you, the one you hide behind filters and small talk. The you that's messy, scared, and secretly brilliant. Think about the last time someone asked you, who are you really? Not your hobbies or your job, your core. Sigma INFJs live for that question. They'll dissect your trauma, celebrate your quirks, and challenge your delusions. And if you're only offering surface-level charm, they'll see through it. And walk, because to them, authenticity isn't a preference. It's a requirement. They'd rather die alone than date a cardboard cutout. So if you want a Sigma INFJ, bring your demons, bring your dreams, but leave your ego at the door. Reason 9. They're the partner you need, not the one you think you want. Let's end with a challenge. If you want someone to tell you you're perfect, swipe left on Sigma INFJs. But if you want someone who'll look you in the eye and say, you're capable of more, let's find out what. Then buckle up. They'll drag you through hell to show you heaven. They'll love you in a way that hurts, because real growth does. In a world of shallow connections, they're a rare breed. Partners who'd rather be hated for their truth than loved for a lie. So, do you want a Sigma INFJ? Ask yourself, are you ready to stop playing games and start playing for keeps?